Hey, how are you doing tonight or today? My name's Nick, and I have a very fun video for you tonight or today, whenever you're watching this. I am going to be rambling to you about some people that I love, L-O-V-E. And yeah, I'm going to tell you how I met them, why I love them, and then I'll reveal who they are to me. I do have a Patreon, and I asked the members on there to vote if we wanted this video to be whispered or soft-spoken or whispered. And it was a tie, so I'm kind of going to do a mix of both, hopefully. So, sit back, relax. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like and a comment saying hi. I would absolutely love that. Let's go. So, the first person I'm talking about today is a guy, and I met him in Los Angeles, and I met him at a gym called LA Fitness, and I actually was going there with my roommate, who was an old high school friend, and at the time, and I remember my roommate and I were on this workout regiment where we were going 4 to 5 times a week. And I remember there's 3 levels to the gym, and we were at the top, and I was the furthest away doing legs, and my roommate went across the gym, which was fairly normal to do, because sometimes we separated and stuff. But he went, and he was gone for a really long time, and long enough that I looked for him. I remember looking for him. Also, don't mind the airplanes. I hope they're not too annoying. Excuse me. So, I look for my roommate, and I see him across the gym talking to this guy and this girl, and let alone, my roommate was the most antisocial person I've ever met, and we didn't really have any friends, so I popped on over, and I started talking with them, and that's how I met the first person I'm talking about today, is that guy. I also met my other friend, which was a girl, through them too. And we all decided to hang out and go for a hike. We actually hiked in the Palisades in Los Angeles before, all of that went down. And yeah, and then we started seeing each other a bit. Why I love this person. So, this person is one of the most passionate and ambitious person that I know. He is so obsessed with cameras and equipment, and he helped me do my short film, which is on YouTube, which you can see, and he was one of the first people to believe in that. And if you know anything about me, I love filmmaking, and I am a director, but I really want to be a bigger director and make movies in my life. And he was one of the first people to get on board for that short film, and I was very insecure about my script and story, so it was really nice being around someone who was just let's do this, let's go, know you can do this. And he's also, over the years, because I've been friends with him for around 3 years now, 4 years, he is the type of friend that I will go and hang out with him, and we will have really deep talks for like an hour. We'll talk about psychology and philosophy, and we'll grab it in and out and walk to downtown Culver, and there's like these outdoor benches and stuff, and we'd sit and just spend an hour talking and dreaming, and he taught me about values, and he was very open and honest. We used to work out at the gym together, and I just know his life, and I love how passionate he is about people, and how he takes care of himself. He goes to the gym all the time. I love how in tune he is, and I love how he gave me the strength to believe in myself, which was really cool. The person that I'm talking about is the DP of my short film called Flowers, and his name is called Miles. Miles. The second person that I'm going to be talking about today is also a man, and or a boy when I met him, and I don't remember meeting him. Let me think of my first memory. I think one of my first memories is of him coming over to my house when I was younger, and me following him around and going to his house, which was across the street from mine, and us walking to school and being friends. So, this person, I love this person because I met this person and grew up with this person for all of my childhood, basically, and he was always there for me in a way that I knew what real friendship was. We used to read books. We read the Cirque du Freak books. I don't know if you've ever read those. Those were my favorite childhood books. There were 12 of them, and they focused about this like vampire slayer who was a vampire himself or something. And I remember walking to my elementary school because we were close to it, and we would walk down the street, walk to school together, and he would start talking about the chapter. He'd be like, "Are you on chapter 12?" And I'd go, "No, I'm on chapter 11." And he's like, "Well, chapter 12." And then he would start talking about it, and I remember I would sprint down the street. And he would taunt me, and it was so funny. And we would be in school together, and we were best friends in elementary school growing up. And I remember I would run out of my house and run directly across the street into his house, and his family was always so kind. I would run to his basement. I'd open the door and I'd ask, "Where is he?" And his parents would say, "Downstairs," and I would just run downstairs and wind myself down to the basement where he's playing video games, and we would just camp out there. And I always told my parents where it was, but if they ever never knew, they knew I was over there. And I'd stay there long enough, and I'd say, "Hey, Mom, can I sleep over?" And she'd be like, "Fine." watched lots of movies. He was a very tough guy, and when I was younger, I was tough as well, but not very like exterior-wise. But I wasn't timid. But he was definitely the type of guy that was. He was taller, just bigger, and yet he was like the more sensitive one, which was really funny because we would watch like horror films and he would be absolutely terrified of them, and meanwhile I'd be okay. And we used to compare ourselves to like SpongeBob and Patrick from SpongeBob. Not that either one of us was like dumb or smart, but I would be SpongeBob and he was Patrick. Although I don't know if he liked that. But I loved him because he was someone I felt safe with and was someone that I could play with and be outside with and confide in and escape my family with. But he was also family, and I remember too, we went to different middle schools, but when we were in 6th grade, when we separated schools, I remember I also thought he was really cool, and I'd bring my friends, and they would know him because he played sports, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're friends with so-and-so," and I say, "Yeah, they're my neighbor," and we'd have snowball fights, and we'd watch lots of movies, and yeah, he was just a good additional brother to me. And yeah, I love him. He's good. The person that I'm talking about is my childhood best friend named Josh. And he lived right across the street from me, and he still does. Yeah. We're still friends, but you know how life goes. Sometimes you can separate, but I love him still. Okay, the last person I'll be talking about tonight is someone that I've always known. You might be able to guess this quick, but I don't remember meeting them because they remember meeting me, and I love this person because I grew up with this person, and they were an idol to me, and this person is so selfless and so caring, and it's a woman, and she would always be working, yet would always make time for me and my siblings, and she's so smart and so determined, and she would make me feel like my voice matters, like my words matter. Like even when I was young, she would sit down, look at me, and nod her head, and she wouldn't, not for the most part, I don't think she would have a prescripted like answer, but she would look straight at me and say, "I hear you, I know it's hard," or "Oh, maybe you're right." She always showed up for every soccer game that I had, for every theater performance. She was proud of me, and she protected me against my siblings. Because sometimes, you know, siblings can be a little bit dangerous. I love that she is so spiritually connected. She is definitely an old soul, and I love that she cares for people so deeply. She really wants to be a good person, and sometimes I wish I could wake her and say, "You already are," but she always strives to be better, and I appreciate that. She really doesn't judge people. She She is very protective, very resilient, loves murder mystery novels. She's dramatic. She can be very silly. And she loves her family very much. She can be a little antisocial, but I think that's because she cares so much about people that she doesn't want to get hurt. I remember always feeling like I could, enter her room when I was younger to feel safe. I remember how she always asked about our days, even though she probably had the longest day. She would work and take care of me at the same time. She loved traveling. She still does, but she also hates it. She kind of hates traveling a bit because she likes her own cozy nest, I think. But yeah, she's just so kind and so patient. And selfless. Her favorite color is purple. And I remember one time I accidentally threw a party. I was going to get in trouble, and it was the day that I got into my dream college. And she was going to scold me, but I ran in the house. And I screamed. I got in. And she was holding something to, reprimand me with a piece of evidence. And she immediately just started yelling and smiling and being very happy for me. And she put that away. And she said, "Let's go celebrate." She's always been a really big #1 fan. And I love her a lot. The person that I'm talking about is my mother. I love my mother. So, yeah, those are 3 people that I love. Let me know if you want me to make this a series or something, but I thought it'd be kind of fun. And let me know if these descriptions remind you of anyone in your life. And let me know who they are down below. And I hope you know that someone thinks about you the way that I think about these people. So, just a little note for you. And if you enjoy this, make sure you subscribe and join us on Patreon. Click the links. And yeah, if no one's told you, you are so loved. Thank you for all the good you do in the world. It doesn't go unnoticed. I notice it, and everyone in this community notices it. And remember to be weird, to be yourself, and to be your best friend. I look forward to seeing you in a future video. And I'll see you soon. Okay.